can get the drumming injury just from playing that. That's me with a pair of spoons, actually. No, I'm kidding. Hey,
That's a
how's it
banger.
going? Dan here with physical therapist Janice Ying, specializing in injuries from the music industry.
That's
If you're in
right.
the
There's a
music
lot of
industry, yeah, you probably acquired an injury, especially if you're a drummer or maybe from a drummer, unless it's a hearing issue like me, which I got acquired by having my ears talked off too many times by lead singers that go on and on about a lot of nothing outside of lyrics. So here we are to talk about repetitive motion injuries, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, sciatica. We never talked about, I don't know if this is a condition or an injury, scoliosis. Maybe we could touch on that. I've seen drummers, I have to call him out, one of my biggest influence, and everyone, we've talked about him before, but we never mentioned the word scoliosis, and that's Phil Collins. And the way Phil used to
interesting.
sit, yeah, very, like profile-wise, very arched like this, almost like a question mark, where
Yeah.
his feet, legs, femur, back, and head, a very distinct shape, and it looks
Huh.
painful. And I've seen
Yeah.
pictures of him in that posture since he was in his 20s. Maybe I'll find a picture. Not to bag on Phil, folks, we know he's gone through a lot of health stuff.
Yeah.
Get his book, Not Dead Yet. It's amazing. He reads it, it's his life story, and you really understand a lot about his well, I'll just say his journey. But great drummer. And yeah, so chime in with questions, and I'll make up answers, and then Janice will give you the real answer. And I don't know, what is scoliosis, an injury or a condition? And is it an acquired condition or a born with condition that can get aggravated, or it just advances on its own? What's the story with
That's
it?
a great question, Dan.
Thanks. Thank you.
So, scoliosis can be structural. Usually, I don't know. I think kids still do this in school, but usually around like late elementary school, middle school, most schools will put kids through like physical tests. And one of the tests is like a forward bend test, and like you can like touch your toes. And so what happens with scoliosis, there's different types of scoliosis, but the most common one is like the S curve. Like if you're looking straight on, like we are right now,
Yeah.
the spine, instead of going straight up and down this way, could be curved in an S. So like one portion of the spine would be going to one direction, and then the other
That's
side might
interesting.
compensate for that.
It's interesting, Janice, because I think a lot of people who don't know, attribute scoliosis more to a front to back thing, the way
Ah,
I was describing, sort of a hunch, or, they got shorter over time. Well, I
yeah.
have, but that's loss
So
of hair.
there can be that too. So
Okay.
that is more referred to as like kyphosis. So
Oh,
kyphosis is if you're looking from the side this way, profile, and then it's like a curvature
oh,
this way.
okay.
So there's like the frontal plane, and then there's the sagittal plane. And someone could have kyphoscoliosis, which would be a combination of this plus the S shape too.
Oh, wow.
So typically, if we're talking about a structural problem, usually that will start to arise in kind of like puberty. So as kids are growing and it's a
Hmm.
structural issue, then like the spine can actually be shaped and cause those rotations or those side bends in the different directions. Um, Usually it happens more in females, like versus
Oh, really?
males. Uh-huh.
Huh.
And in really severe cases, and again, this is usually hopefully caught early on, like as they're continuing to grow, sometimes in like really severe cases, they will actually like split these people, like have like full torso splints to try and straighten out the spine so it doesn't continue to progress as they grow and their skeleton matures.
Is it painful?
Not always. It depends on the degree of the curvature. It's not always painful, but you know, your body is adapting to that shape, right? And so in really, really severe cases, people can have like spinal surgeries, like to try and fix that. So that's kind of like the developmental, like structural component of scoliosis or kyphosis. But there is another bucket of scoliosis that we PTs and people in the medical field can oftentimes refer to as like functional scoliosis. So meaning that they actually have all the mobility in their spine, right? That they can get to straight if they wanted to. It's just that their body has adapted, whether it's like muscles being tight or maybe like joints are really stiff that would kind of like predispose them to being in those positions. A classic example, let's see if I'm doing it like right now. So like, I don't know if you notice like my left shoulder is a little higher than my right shoulder.
Mine is too.
Yeah. So that's like pretty typical. Like usually people will have like, you know, a difference side to side. But like I've done a lot of work on myself to try and like recalibrate myself to being like
mentally, emotionally, or physically.
Let's not go there. That's for a different discussion. No, but like if I'm just like hanging out and I'm not really like thinking about my position or posture, a lot of times like my default position would be more like my left side is a lot higher. And I kind of attribute that to like my history of like violin playing, like everything. I'm so used to having,
See what I mean?
Yeah.
And here, I wish I could make it larger, but it was getting funky with me. But you could see there's quite a difference. And sorry to interrupt. I thought it was going to just queue up for me. When you look at the distance between the back of his spine and the back of his head, it's because this is arched and his neck is forward. And again, folks, hopefully some of you know me well enough. I'm not picking on Philip,
right?
Or Philip as they call him. I'm just using this as an example, and it's not uncommon for drummers to kind of like. I don't think a lot of drummers sit very straight up. You know, I could think of maybe two, maybe Stuart Copeland and maybe Bill Bruford, maybe Danny Carey, and the rest of us are in some weird, you know,
I mean, I don't even think that drummers need to sit back either, because like all of the weight that you're trying to transmit is always forward. So you need a little bit of like.
You know what, though? That brings up a topic that I've brought up from time to time, and people have answered for me. And I ask this question sometimes of drummers, not to be critical, but simply because as a drummer myself, I don't understand the backrest of a drum throw.
We've talked about that.
We have talked about that. Yeah. But some drummers say it does help their posture. I don't know. Me personally, I don't know if anything can help my posture, but it would just feel odd that there's something back there. I'm moving around too much. I don't know.
I think, you know, sometimes people need an extra cue to sit up. So maybe they want to have that input to like kind of remind them. Otherwise they go kind of like to the other extreme.
Yeah.
I typically tend to recommend using a back rest only like when you need to like rest for like a split second. Maybe you're like,
or drive a vehicle.
No, I mean, well, yeah, that too. But like, if you are like, just you have like 15 seconds before the next song comes up, and then you just kind of like rest against it just to relax the muscles before you like start playing again. I typically tend not to encourage people to play where they're kind of like resting against the back, the backrest, because again, like you want your weight, you want your momentum to kind of be going into the instrument rather than away from the instrument. Right. That usually will encourage like more work in certain areas, or just kind of like slightly less efficient movement while you're playing. But everyone has their own style, so you know.
Yeah.
That's the general thought behind that.
Yeah. Going back to the scoliosis.
Oh yeah. So I was like
generative as well, or is that what it is? Or? which is structural?
Typically, like what we see with scoliosis is like if it's from adolescence, typically it'll stabilize like once they're done growing, right? And so, which is why you want to try to intervene before that kind of cements everything in. But if it's functional, so like what I was talking about before is like functional, meaning that like I can actually move out of it. It's just that my default kind of calibrated state is to be in that. But the longer I kind of use that as my kind of like default position, the more adaptations that I could have, like shorter muscles on one side, elongated muscles on the other side, that would kind of continue to pull me into that direction further. There are some conditions where not so much where like people are curved forward, although that can be, but there's like other kind of physiologic conditions that can like fuse the spine, like ankylosing spondylosis is like one of those, but that usually won't cause like the hunched over. It could actually, I take that back. It could. So there's different conditions, but typically, what I see at least is like people who didn't develop it in adolescence, because that's a totally different bucket. Usually you can kind of help them stretch out of those positions and kind of like find a new neutral. It just depends, like with Phil Collins' case, like when he's not playing the drums, is he able to be upright, or does he continue to be in that curved position?
Well, unfortunately, now he's, he has a lot of physical
Yeah. I'm just saying,
but I know
like
what you mean
in
as
that
an
particular
example.
case
Yeah.
or that
For
example,
someone
like,
who sits like that, or they
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So my right shoulder had to check. So you can see that it's lower, right?
Yeah, I can see that.
So is that a form of scoliosis? Is that caused?
Not necessarily, because I mean, we've talked about the shoulder before. The shoulder is such a dynamic, flexible thing. So
Yeah.
it could be coming from your spine, but it could also just be coming from the shoulder blade, like shoulder girdle itself.
Okay.
And it doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong. It's just maybe like just how you
and
hold
I can't
yourself.
feel it. I just sometimes I catch myself on video or the mirror and I go, gosh, that's weird. What a difference. And it's been like that for it. I could think of the last 15, 18 years it's been like that I know of. Maybe it's always been like that. I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, most of the time people don't have any idea. Like the classic example that I give is like when I used to work at the hospital, we have like name badges, right? And so my friend was looking at my name badge just for fun. She's like, were you like crooked sitting in that? Like, and I was like, no, what are you talking about? And like my shoulder was like, I looked like I was like this. And I was like, oh no, and I had no idea. Like, it's just kind of like my default position when I'm not thinking about it, etc. Like I'll just kind of like gravitate leaning to my right a little bit, but I don't have any, like, knock on wood, I don't have any issues that I'm dealing with, but pain sometimes can cause people to shift away from their pain too, right? And so they're trying to avoid it, or maybe they have pain being upright or a little bit straighter, and so their body will default to relieving that pain, and then over time that kind of can develop too.
So on that note, that makes me want to ask the question, I'm sure there are, what are posture exercises for someone who may be at their desk or at their drums typically, or piano or other instruments? Oboe, I could think of a few different woodwind instruments. Are there posture exercises?
Of course. I mean, that could be like, how much time do we have? Like, basically, long story short, I'll just keep it nice and simple. If you think about what position that you play in or that you want to fix or kind of counteract. So let's just say that I'm a pianist, right? Or I'm sitting in front of my computer all day long. And so you think about like, you're usually in this like kind of closed position. Your arms are like rotated inwards, right? Drummers too, right? Usually they're here. Mm-hmm. So take every segment of your body. So like wrists and hands, if your wrists and hands are here, open them up, get them to go the opposite direction. If your elbows are bent, open them up, get them to go the opposite direction. If your
Posture
chest
works
is
the same way
closed,
then.
just literally like unfold every segment
Oh,
from the
wow.
position and go the opposite direction. Like super
That's neat.
simple, easy way to think about it without being like, you should do this for this and you should do this for this. Like, no, I can't even keep that straight. Like, I mean, I
Yeah.
can, but I've been doing this for a long time, right? But
Yeah.
very simple, just literally like unfold every segment. And then also remember that we don't just move in one plane, right? We're a very 3D kind of situation.
Yeah.
So, you know, work on getting some trunk rotation. You know, if you're doing a stretch here, let's say that you want to stretch out your forearms, maybe get some rotation going in the forearms too. You know, rotate your wrists, get them out of this like one dimension type of movement, because that's not how we move. We move in 3D. And so all stretches, all strengthening exercises, I always try and like encourage people to think in 3D versus just do this one direction.
Yeah. Interesting. I love that. Let's look at a few drummers' pictures.
Yeah, let's
And
do it.
and
It's always
you know,
fun.
you give feedback. But also take a moment and tell everybody, I don't think we've ever done this. Tell everybody a little bit about your acumen, like why Janice Ying on this show. Well, there's a lot of great reasons for that.
Well, thanks. So my background, I'm a professionally trained classical pianist. I also studied violin. So I got my undergrad degree in piano performance and music education. I got injured during college, slightly before, but then ended up getting surgery on my shoulder because of playing the violin, not piano. But it's like kind of through that process that I felt like no one really understood me and what I needed to do, or kind of gave me the right kind of advice to get back to playing without pain. And so that's kind of how I ended up in the physical therapy world, because I felt like that was the best avenue for me to figure that out for myself selfishly, but then also to be able to help others out. So that's kind of like the reason why I became a PT in the first place, was to kind of help musicians figure out how to use their bodies better. But also like more like just like learn about my body and like how I could utilize that better.
Cool. That's great. And Janice is based in downtown Los Angeles, not far
Mm-hmm.
from where I grew up. And she does do some telehealth appointments and stuff. All her contact info is in the post. You can follow her on Facebook and Instagram. So let's look at some drummers. So here's an old picture. I'm going to show an old picture of Lars from Metallica and a more
Nice.
current picture. And you can see quite a difference. This might be the biggest difference in someone's posture at the drums I've ever seen. So here's old Lars right here. Whoops, that didn't go to where. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Where'd that picture go that I did? Oh, there it was. One sec. Okay, here we go. All right, so why is it not showing that photo though? Bear with me, folks. I'm trying to queue up this one specific photo. Oh, I see why. Because I have to change what it is sharing. It's not sharing what I want it to. Hold on one sec, folks. This will be worth it, I promise. Share screen. Okay, so let's do instead. We'll do this. So, okay, so here's an old picture of Lars.
Okay.
And then. Oh man, that picture disappeared too. Come on. Here, I'll go through here real quick. That was it. That's his posture now. That was kind of anticlimactic. Let's look up a few more. His posture, actually, that first picture wasn't really that bad. We'll show that again.
Yeah. Well, okay. So like one thing I'll say
curved actually, but not bad.
Is and I mean, this is actually a really good point, and this is what I talk to people all the time about too, is like, especially for musicians, because everything is so dynamic, pictures, like you could find a picture of someone, any musician, being in this like horrendous posture
And it was a
in
split
one
second.
snapshot,
Yeah.
right? In
Like
one
that
split
picture you
second.
take with your friends at the party and you just happen to be like
Yeah, exactly,
in the
right? That's
middle of
not how
laughing
you
or
are. I
saying
mean, kind of it is how you are, but like, no, I'm just, it's not how you are in like the totality of the performance. And
right.
so usually what I always do and what I encourage any musician to do is like watch a video of yourself, turn the music off or turn
Yeah.
the sound off, because as musicians, we're always going to just gravitate towards just listening to how we are. But like watch like a clip. It doesn't have to be super long, but just like watch it and see what the general trends are of that.
Yeah.
So I always find a ton of value in like watching videos, and anyone who's worked with me, regardless if they're in person or a virtual consultation, I always have them send me videos of them playing before the session. And even if they come and they bring their whole kit, they bring all their instruments to me here in person, and I can see, like, we can have like an in-person meeting. If I ask them to play, which I still do in the clinic, like they know that I'm watching them play. And so it's really valuable to see them kind of out in the wild and be like, okay, what do you really look like when you're not
Yeah.
thinking about someone watching you with the intention of like commenting on your movement? Like,
Yeah.
how do you really live? How do you really look when you're doing
Yeah.
that kind of thing?
I'm sure there's big differences. So Alan White, the late great Alan White, came to mind. This is a picture from 1972 or three, the first tour he did with Yes when he first joined, and he
Nice.
always did sit kind of high. You could notice the angle of his femur,
Yeah.
whereas Lars Ulrich's was more almost perpendicular to the floor. Alan sat kind of high. Alan did, for the most part, usually sit pretty straight up.
Mm-hmm.
He came to mind while we were talking. See if I could find another. It's hard to find. There's another side pictures. You know, that's 1978 or
Yeah.
79. I think 78. Um, that's a color one of that, similar to the one we saw. I want to look up Stuart Copeland because I mentioned that I think he sits relatively straight and he's tall.
Yeah.
Let's see, Stuart. Okay, so that's from, and that could be one of those split second things. That's, get out of here. Yeah, cookies, whatever. Um, he's relatively upright with a little bit of hunch there. And he,
Yeah.
I know that some drummers kind of lean into it, into the groove. There's that
Yep.
too.
Yep.
And then maybe the chorus opens up and you're up on the ride cymbal
Yep.
or on the, there's, like you said, it's so dynamic that sometimes one photo, of course, does not tell the whole story of a drummer's posture.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be fun to pull up a few.
Totally.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
that's
I
how he
mean,
always sits.
yeah. Yeah, so I mean, like whether someone plays like sitting higher or lower, I think, my general, like when I'm looking at someone playing, like someone could sit low if they wanted to, but they have to have the flexibility to accommodate for that. I tend to recommend people sitting higher rather than lower,
Yeah.
but a lot of it is like, can your body be in that position for extended periods of time, right?
Yeah, we've talked about some drummers with whether they have double bass or not, how their knees are like even with their waist and
Yeah.
sometimes look even slightly higher. It just looks
Yeah.
beautiful in the hips to me and
Yeah.
like
Well, I mean, if you don't have the mobility in your hips, it's going to translate up to the spine, right? And so it's just going to place different mechanical demands on your body. And
right.
so if your body can get there and be there, that's fine. But usually most people, you want to have, if this is like your femurs and your body are 90 degrees, like you want to be a little bit more open. So like the femurs are a little bit, your knees are a little bit lower than your hips. Like that's generally the advice that I like to give people.
Yeah.
But I know people play all different styles and whatnot. So it's all kind of like matching like how they choose or how they opt to move from a artistic, technical perspective, but then trying to kind of match it or kind of like see how we can make it happen from a mechanical advantage. Like that's my lens. And so like I always tell people, I'm not my intention is never to like change how you play, but what my lens is like, how is the position that you're playing affecting how you use your body? And then you figure out how you want to use your body from there. Like
Right.
I'm not an expert in every single instrument that comes through my doors. I can talk about piano really great. I can talk about violin pretty great. Drums, I've seen so many drummers over the years. Like I feel like I've gotten to learn a lot about it.
Right.
But I still always ask questions, and there's different styles, there's different techniques. And so,
Yeah.
yeah.
John Barnum's another one who sat pretty upright most of the time. This is a great example. He's playing there.
Yeah.
Um, he now that I think of it, yeah, he, obviously he's doing something there. It's one of those
Yeah.
split moments, but he's
Action
sat
shots.
pretty straight up. Yeah, there's some really, what drives me nuts though is when things are backwards like this. Why? Why? It's backwards. How it's got to be more work to publish the picture incorrectly than to publish it how it was taken. I don't get that. Name a drummer who you're familiar with. Oh, I know one. Think of one, and I'm going to pull up one who I think also had crazy posture. One of the most influential drummers is Buddy Rich, and if I remember,
Oh yeah.
he had that's how he often looked with a big, leaning down and in there. You could see even from the back, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, super low. Like everything's set super low, but he sits high relative to his kit.
Yeah. Look what he's sitting on though. It's like just a 3/4 inch piece of plywood or something.
Yeah.
That's him when he was a little
Awesome.
kid, actually.
Oh my gosh.
Let's
Wow.
see. That's when he was much older. Now here is interesting. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, like he's not playing, but he has that arch in his back. Is that scoliosis? Oh, good grief. How do I get out of that? We are just bombarded. You see what I mean? Is that scoliosis then?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I would have to like see, because again, that would be like more kyphosis, but that's just kind of describing the curvature of the
Oh,
spine.
right. That's
So
what I meant.
again, like my question then would be like, when he stands up, does he stay in that position or is he able to come out of that?
Right.
So, I could get into that position, but that's not scoliosis, right? Like it's
Got
just like I'm just curving my spine. I mean, most people would kind of have that like shrimpy posture. Like it's pretty
Yeah.
common. You think about us using our cell phones or like sitting at a
Right.
desk or we're just relaxing. Um,
I've not watched a video of myself in quite a while. Now I want to and see how I just don't want to get like obsessed about it and think about that while I'm playing instead of playing. But
yeah.
if there's something to correct, and folks, I think, and Janice, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like you said, you look through the lens. You're not trying to change someone's playing or how they play, but you can not only notice things that they can adjust, but I'm sure what you see can often be a window into the warning signs of long-term effects on a body, right?
Sure. Yeah. But I mean, just because I see something doesn't mean it's gonna, I'm not that psychic. Like the human body itself is like very resilient. So people can like adapt and like they could be playing one way forever and like never have any pain.
Right.
Right. So, but of course, there are many things that we can do from a preventative standpoint. And what I really like to talk to people about, again, not to like change their technique or anything, because that's not my job, that's not my role. But just like in like professional sports,
Yeah.
these athletes have already like they're already really good at their sport, right? No matter what you're talking about. And so at that level, it's a game of inches, right? if you make some little tweak, you're going to be able to perform even like 0.5% or 1% better. And it's finding those little areas that you can like unlock to make you playing your sport, playing your instrument even better or more efficiently. Like, I want people to start to think about it in that context rather than like always putting out fires and like, oh my gosh, like I have an injury, I need to get fixed. Like, why not try and like enhance the physicality of the performance, not just the artistry, because musicians are always looking to like enhance the artistry, push the boundaries and all that stuff.
Right.
But like, you use your body to play this, so why not maximize or kind of enhance that aspect of it so that you can do what you have in your mind.
Yeah.
So that's why I encourage people to like start thinking about a little bit more.
Yeah. I like that. So, other than me, who's your favorite drummer?
Favorite drummer?
And we'll pull up a picture. We'll see how they sit.
Oh man. Let me think about this.
Okay.
I mean, I really like Questlove.
Let's see.
Or, I mean, I'm a 90s kid, so like I love Dave Matthews and like Carter Beauford, like in his kit.
Let's look at Carter, a lefty as well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. And often with drummer pictures, sometimes it's hard to find us from the side, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got serious crazy posture.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where'd that go? Gosh, why did they ask about cookies? You have to, like, let's see. This one here, his posture is so crazy, he's not even facing his drums. What's up with that? Just kidding.
He's that good. He doesn't even have to like face
Right.
it, that he can play.
Now here he's reaching, so he looks fairly. Let's see if it shows us the picture I clicked on. Sometimes it's not doing that. Let's see if I can do this. Zip. So he's pretty upright there. You can tell he's doing
It's pretty good.
bowl.
Yeah.
Let's look at a few others. I have not had Carter on. I need to have Carter on. I mean, after all this time, 13 and a half years, let's get him.
I just like every time I saw his like setup, it was just like so amazing to me.
Yeah. This is that. Just want to get that. Oh, it's Pinterest. That's why. Okay. Yeah, he's a great drummer.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, shout out to Rick Zuccaro if you're watching, Rick. My friend Rick is in a band called, it's a Dave Matthews tribute band, and it's called Fake Matthews.
That's funny.
Yeah, looking through here, like the ones I do see of him playing, it looks very straight up there.
I mean, he just seems like even though he's like going all over the place, he seems just very efficient with his movement.
Yeah. And his drums are higher up. Now, here's a good one from the back. Maybe we could. Oh, there's his. God, I love his setup. Oh, that's set up right-handed too. I forgot. He's like Billy Cobham. He's, if I remember correctly, he's a left-handed drummer that plays with a right-handed setup.
Huh.
Ray Luzier is as well from Korn, or Ray Lose Your Ear, as he says. But this one from the back that it wouldn't show when I clicked on, you could tell that that's pretty straight as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, it's also like a good exercise to look at like the setup, and I know we've talked about this before too, but like from an ergonomic perspective, it's like people have all these wild setups and stuff, but it's like if you're always going to be reaching and playing like different cymbals, that's maybe not the most efficient way to move. Like that's going to cause more overuse, more tendonitis, that kind of condition, because like your body isn't built to be in those positions for long periods of time. But if you're only using it like for like a couple hits, like a concert or like kind of sporadically, then you can have as many crazy things as you want.
Yeah.
So
So my
setup does matter.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe for the next episode, I'll record myself on two different drum sets playing two completely different styles of music to see if my posture is different. And
Yeah.
yes, I know that you'll be looking and critiquing, but if I'm playing to some of my favorite music, it's easy for me to get my head in the
Yeah.
music and just play the way I play, the
Yeah.
posture. With my real big kit, though, it might be a little challenging to. Oh, I know what I could do. I was gonna say to get it from the side, but in fact, I have my zoom camera here, and it has a
Nice.
very wide view, and I
Cool.
can put it. I know where I can put it where it would show a wide angle from the side if that's the
Nice.
easiest way to control.
Yeah, that'll be really fun. And like that way people can kind of get an idea of like how I do these kind of sessions, right? Like
Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be fun.
that'd be
So
really
I'll do
fun.
that. And then on the other drum set, so that's my big one, and it comes almost right up to the walls. I have to like squeeze in, like as big as this place is, and as small as I am, I still have to like squeeze in, and I'm like, God, we need a bigger place, um, which we'll never have a bigger place than this. And then my other kit, the four piece, is easy. I'll have a nice side view from that. But now I'm really curious, and
Yeah.
my posture changed. Do I have a picture here? I do. One sec. So this is back in '84, and you can't see how I'm sitting, but you can see just the top of my head and how high my drums are. Like, look at the extension off the bass drum holding the two toms
Yeah.
in front of me, and all the
Yeah.
other drums are quite high.
Yeah, right.
Over the years, I've sunk more, set everything up lower. And about 5 years ago, I was interviewing Todd Zuckerman, and Todd of Styx, his snare drum was like almost up to his chin. Not really, but
Right.
it's like the bottom of his snare drum is almost like even with the middle of his femur, his leg. Like it's quite high. It's noticeably high.
Uh-huh.
And I asked him, I said, how do you like what's the deal? And he
Yeah.
grabbed a drumstick, which strangely I don't have handy. I'll use this. And he plays traditional grip when he plays
Okay.
sticks to me. So he says when he just drops and I forgot these two both fibia,
Yeah.
tibia,
Your radius and ulna.
radius and ulna are exactly perpendicular. It just comes right down
Ah,
on the drum. So by raising the drum, so I tried it. I raised my snare drum maybe an inch and a half. Doesn't sound like much. Inch and a
right.
half, and I lowered my throne, and it's a throne, folks, not a stool or a seat. I lowered my throne maybe 2 inches, so that made like a 3.5 inch difference. And
Yeah.
I felt after so many years of playing, this is 5 years ago. So I had been playing like 51, 52 years, and never did I feel so much like I was wearing my drum set. Like
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I was
Yeah.
in it. It was
Yeah.
really neat, and it did affect my playing. It economized my movement. I
Yeah.
did lower my chinas, a couple things I lowered a little bit to make up for it, and it was a really easy adjustment. And I encourage drummers to, maybe sometimes things need to be taller. Maybe you need to sit up more or in
Yeah.
more or back more. Or I've experimented with all that. And that's why I think my posture is completely different on those two kits. There's a four-piece
Sure.
jazz kit, and then there's my progressive kit where I play so differently, I'm sure. So now I'm really
Yeah.
eager. I'm curious.
Yeah. I'm curious too. I'm excited. That'll be really fun.
Yeah, awesome.
Awesome.
And then what we'll do, folks, on that next show is Janice has a really neat program that it basically shows your anatomy, and she can tear out layers. She can remove all muscle and tissue and just see the nerves or the vascular or just the bone. And maybe you can exemplify with that what's happening with my body in those two videos, like
Yeah,
what the main form of posture is.
sure.
And hopefully people will be paying attention and they'll learn something.
Yeah, that's the
If they're
goal,
paying
right?
attention, they'll learn something for sure.
Right.
So,
Nice.
Janice, have you heard about our arcade?
No, tell me about it.
Oh, wow. Well, I have a real quick video that I can show. Folks, check this out.
Sit around and watch TV? Nah. Come keep your brain sparks firing with our music-themed brain teaser. Crossword puzzles, word searches, anagrams, and more, and of many music genres. Get your pre-sale pass now for only $2 a month or $20 for the whole year for the first year of unlimited play. Take a peek at www.drumtalktvbrilliance.com/arcade and use Arcade2 at checkout, and you are in, where the music meets the mind. Come on and play.
Super
Wow.
fun stuff. And we're rebooting it. We built it out. We're opening it with 5,500 games. And
Whoa.
they're like En just said, they're word search, anagrams, and another one called Match 'em or Match 'em Up. And that's basically you see an artist and a bunch of albums. You gotta, as quick as you can, match which albums are theirs or
Oh,
match
cool.
albums. Yeah, really neat stuff. You know, we figured that brain teasers and puzzles are like that everywhere. Wall Street Journal, LA Times, Apple News. So we thought, let's make one that's all music based and make it really, really neat. It times you, it ranks you with other players. You can earn points and stuff. And while we're relaunching it, folks, for just $2 a month or $20 a year for the first year, you can also be part of the beta testing if you want. And with the beta testers, we do something super special. We have meetings once or twice a month with me and our technical team, and sometimes we'll even do one of our live breakout, a round of our live game show. You can win something. So when Steve sends out our next email, sign up for the membership. You can sign up for free. If you want to just check it out, sign up for free so that you get the emails, and then reply to one of those emails saying, I want to be in the beta, or just reply beta. We'll put you in, then you'll be on a special list, and we'll give you instructions on how to test stuff out. But I'm really excited about this. And I don't know if I should say this or not. Yeah, I'll say it. So the promise is that new games coming all the time. Well, with 5,500 games, like what? New games? The main decades we're starting with are the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and about 15 genres of music. Then we're building out through the 2000s and going back to the 40s or 50s with as many genres as existed at that time. Really fun stuff. People with
Cool.
different musical interests, aficionados versus just a casual interest. And there's a lot of anecdotal history, like, did you know that this song, real fun stuff like that. And we have the part I wasn't sure I should say, with the promise of new games all the time. After we launch it for the first month or two, maybe after 2 months, we're going to start trickling out new games every week, because we've built out 17,000 more. 17,000 more. Our elves are busy. We
That's
work really hard.
wild.
Yeah, 17,000 more games of all these different genres and the different puzzles, and we're programming more stuff. So lots of fun. We'd love for you folks to be part of it. Healthy escapism, okay? Hey, put the
That's
bong
right.
down and just play some
That's
games, okay?
Or
So,
play together. Play while you're doing it.
yeah, definitely. Absolutely. We are building out a thing where we can literally have like tournaments, and people can play like in clusters of people at the same time, and it'll show you
Nice.
who ranked. Right now it'll show you who ranked highest with this game the last time it was played. It's really neat. I'm really proud of
How
it.
fun.
And I had nothing to do with the technical part other than thinking of the thing to begin with, and hey, what if this, what if that, and our technical team's like, yeah, and then they put all these other sprinkles and sparkles on it. It's really cool. So lots of pixie
Amazing.
dust around here being
Amazing.
used. Yeah. So Janice, thanks so much for joining me again for a round of
Yeah.
drumming injury talk. Hang on the line. We'll pick out a date for next month, and we'll have some clips. Yeah.
I can't wait.
You know what, folks? We'll include that in an email, how you could send clips in if you'd like me to show your clip and have Janice critique your posture. Hey, how about that? Let's see who's brave enough put themselves out there.
I don't bite.
I'm like, I don't care. I want to, if it'll improve me, I want to know. I'm not, I have no, like, how could I have any vainness when I'm stuck with all this? So send in your videos. We'll show you how. We'll do a whole email that'll include that and the games and some other upcoming stuff. Vinny Appice, Wednesday, the 12th. I believe Vinny's going to join us for a fan Q&A session. That's for premium members only, or you can get a gig pass for just that event. So sign up for our email list just to get all that info, folks. It's at www.drumtalktvbrilliance.com and get a hold of Janice. Her info is in the post. She can help you out. Even if they're not a musician, right? Like maybe a construction worker or a baker or someone that just does the same stuff over and over.
I see all humans. I see humans.
Humans, and I heard a couple grays. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks everybody so much. We will see